You good?
Yeah, action.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Dude, this is the space.
It's the space.
Where are we? Tell me about this space. How did this come to be?
Yeah, we're in the CineD headquarters here in Vienna. We've been in this office for over 12 years now. And it started as a forum for DSLR filmmakers, to have a forum where people talk to each other on how to make those strange photo cameras work for filmmakers. As the site grew, our team grew, and you only see like the tip of the iceberg in a way in this office. We have a very large team which is spread all over the world. We have writers in Italy and France. We have people in the US, all over the place actually. And yeah, of course.
Is there anything fun on your desk? Is there anything you use every day?
Well, I don't need any of this. I mean, all I need is my... There used to be a desktop computer. Now everything, we work all on the M2 MacBook Pros because they're so powerful. They completely replaced. I mean, there's still 2 old iMacs there.
And what is all of this?
That's the least interesting stuff here actually, because that's mostly cables and monitors. The cameras are in front. We just put those away. Here are a few of our cameras. That's the Ronin 4D, which, you know, I really love that thing. It's very versatile. I still have 2 FS7s. I used to use a lot of FS7s for my production work. And here's the drawer with a lot of the mirrorless cameras, like a lot of Lumix cameras, a lot of Sony cameras. And that's a mixture of cameras we bought and used for production and some that are loaners because we keep retesting stuff if there's a firmware update and, you know, like new lenses and so on. So some manufacturers decide to give it to us and then they will want it back sometimes only 6 months later. So this is our small studio. This used to be our only studio, and this is the space we use for the lab tests. It's not set up for the lab test now. I just want to... That's an important thing to say, because that's a standardized test that we do with all cameras that takes a long time to actually process, and we call them lab tests, and it's essentially camera tests of camera sensors, and it's a dynamic range, a exposure latitude, and a rolling shutter test. We publish articles which go into detail about each one of those tests, and those results are afterwards put into our camera databases where you can actually compare the results with each other. And this has become something that really everybody in the world regards as the standard. And we know about the responsibility. We know that, you know, that's why we like everything is checked many times. And also, you know, the results are even shared with the manufacturers before publication in case they want to give feedback. But right now, so far, you know, like even if they didn't like some of the results, so far nobody has been able to disprove anything that we've tested. That's actually...
Oh.
That was the first professional camera that I bought, the DVX100 from Panasonic. So I graduated from Media and Film School in 2006, ancient times. And yeah, of course, there were no large sensor cameras that we could film with at the time. That was just before the DSLR revolution. And in 2004, I bought this camera and shot a feature documentary with it for my diploma. Yeah, this is our charging hub. There's all the V-mount chargers here. There's all the chargers for other stuff we put up there. The batteries are here. So, there's all the different batteries for different cameras. Here are many of the photo lenses. So here are Micro Four Thirds lenses.
Wait, what is this? Did you get like a custom lens holder rack?
No, actually, the funny thing is this is a IKEA cupboard. They just don't have those things anymore. So that's for ties.
No.
That's a drawer for ties, and they don't have it anymore. So
that's amazing.
Yeah. That's all the E-mounts, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, E-mount. And that's all the Leica L, Fujifilm X.
Anything else fun on this side of the office?
Yeah, there's more gear. The storage room, which is just bags and tripods. Yeah, don't film up too much. This is Florian.
Hi, Florian.
Hi.
He's
Hey guys, how's it going? Okay.
Without Florian, everything would break. Florian is the interface between our development team for the website and all the features that we work on. Like the camera and lens databases was his brainchild.
Was there ever a camera like recently that like shocked you when it came to the results, like bad or good?
I think the cameras in general, like the high-end cinema cameras or any cameras, have really come a long way, especially over the last 4 or 5 years. When we started this, the differences were gigantic between cameras. And now it's almost like every camera is amazing, right? I mean, like we see more and more cameras have very smart ways of, every camera has a physical limitation of dynamic range, but now they're coming up with smarter ways of actually kind of squeezing in more dynamic range into the sensor. So for example, Red has this highlight recovery mode. It comes with other problems because it's basically a double exposure. So if there's fast movement, you will have artifacts and stuff like that. But for some things, this actually makes sense if you film stuff that's not moving too fast. And by that, you can actually have more dynamic range.
Wow, that's a whole different space here.
Yep. Sorry about the mess. That's just from my last shoot, like a week ago. Yeah. This is where we shoot most of our stuff these days, and it consists of 2 halves. Ooh. And this part is where we shoot our reviews when we are on camera, different backgrounds, that we can move in and out. Right now this table is a bit of a mess because right now we're set up for the podcasting setup, which is in this corner. This is a permanent setup. The only thing we have to move when we do a review is just like this middle part, and then we move a camera here, but most of that setup can stay the same. It's a work in progress. I guess we'll do a nicer background at some point with some shelves and cameras and stuff like that. But for the time being, it's doing what it's supposed to do. Yeah.
So, but you graduated 2006 with a CineD camera, and now you have built a company that's the gold standard for camera testing. How did that happen?
Like after high school, I actually considered becoming a journalist, and but there was also a passion for creative and filmmaking. That's why I know where my interest for documentary filmmaking comes from. On one hand, right, because that's really satisfying my curiosity, with the advantage of being the cinematographer, meaning that I don't actually have to do the research, I don't actually have to do the editing. It's like I can show up at a shoot and be exposed to really interesting people, and shoot a documentary about them, and then go home and just continue with the CineD stuff, And that's also journalism, of course, and it's journalism about nerdy tech stuff. Yeah.
Awesome.
That's actually the Compact Prime that I was talking about that we use for many, not most of the lab tests, because it's a macro 50mm Compact Prime, and we use the macro version of that lens because it's sharper. Yeah, well, that's the YouTube, the plaque. It's still
just casually in a shelf.
At the time, it was still called Cinema 5D, because we passed 100,000 subscribers already. I don't know, must have been 5 years ago or something like that. And we just put it in and out of shots sometimes, and it's like that's why it's here.
So, should we sit down and record a podcast?
Let's do it.